All right, welcome to Straight Red Card. It's getting late because the last segment was long as hell. I said hell because they're not really supposed to say a cuss word. I guess in the first 30 seconds, Brett. So
I feel like there must be some words that aren't considered curse words, you know?
hell, I think is pretty acceptable.
That's what I'm thinking.
Damn, because you could be talking about a bridge. Ass, you could be talking about a donkey, mule.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're pretty good on that. But I did want to get your take on this based on my rock and roll band discussion this weekend. Is it possible to find yourself? What do you think about that? Can you find yourself? You hear people say that. They're like, yeah, I need to really find myself. People used to say that.
Yeah.
Right? Nah, you can't.
I mean, I'm looking at myself right now, so clearly I found myself.
Is that a mirror you're looking into?
No, I'm looking at my hand.
Oh, your hand. Well, that just, is some sort of existential proof that you exist. But I mean, finding yourself consciously. And I'm just it came up because there was a book about finding yourself in the collection, in the cabin. And I'm like, you can't find yourself. Like, the whole thing about life is self is not static. All right. Self is evolutionary. It changes constantly. So you're never going to find yourself because the self is not a static thing. You're going to constantly evolve if you're a normal human being, I would guess, and you have normal senses. You're like, everything you learn minute to minute changes who you are. Every second of information you take in as a human being changes what you know, what you believe, and who you are. So the self is not static. So this whole idea of I am or is or whatever, all those verbs.
Hey, Bill Clinton, calm down.
All right, I'm just saying, life existence is evolutionary. So you're not going to find yourself. Don't, like, there were friends of mine who were like, yeah, I'm like trying out this religion and that religion, trying to find myself, like where I fit in. No, dude, don't do that. Don't try to find dogma.
Yeah, don't pay 10% of your income before taxes. What's wrong with you?
Exactly. But you've got to let yourself be, and not in a static sense, and just live life. And as you experience it, using your transparent eyeball and being very omniscient, if you will, because you have to be omniscient inside your own brain, right? You're living your life. I think Ortega de Gasset said that. So, that's what existence is all about. Living the life that is your life. That's existence. Whether it's real or not, and you're a brain in vats, really doesn't matter. We're only here for whatever time we're here. So anyhow, that was
insert Tommy Chong gif here.
Far
out, man.
I totally did not expect
man.
to go that far into this discussion when I ask you that question. All right, so we've got some questions to handle, and we've got some comments to handle, and some of the things that we're going to handle here are just basic things that happen. Let's just news, right? Bob Bradley, TFC. I know that's old, but we got to mention it because I never saw Bob leaving Los Angeles. I just didn't. I can't believe after one bad season that he's gone. Why would they do that? I don't know. I just don't get it. I would not have given up on Bob after last season.
There's a lot of rumors that all the street shitters from San Francisco are going to move down to LA.
Yeah, you're right. Who's the comedian who owns LAFC?
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. If I were Will, I would have said, hell no. I'm not giving up Bob Bradley. We're keeping Bob Bradley. Because I mean, that's a coup for TFC. Like, that's Bob Bradley coaching Altidore, coaching fucking his son.
Yep.
I don't know if it makes it any better or it's gonna get any better.
I thought Josie retired.
No, he didn't, did he?
Why?
No, look
What?
that up. That may
Josie
have been a wish on your part, but I don't
retire?
think it's true. I know that Bob Bradley let Omar Gonzalez go.
Hmm.
He declined his option at TFC because he's both the sporting director and the head coach. And Omar had an option to stay on, and Bob's like, "Nah, you're out." But I don't know.
I typed in Josie Altidore retirement, and people also ask, when did Josie Altidore retire? Altidore left Sunderland in January 2015.
Ah, yeah, you meant retire, not require, but yes.
He retired officially 2015 is what they're saying.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do too much of a dig in here. I thought I read somewhere, but maybe somebody was just trolling.
No, because it wasn't
Maybe
mentioned.
trolling.
Wasn't mentioned. He's still there. So the other thing was the Charlotte FC CEO, I believe it was, who said, "Oh yeah, I really expect MLS to get a better TV deal than they did last time, which was 90 million." I don't know how MLS can expect a better TV deal,
It's pretty
especially
damn good right now
with the economy, the Rona. You know, I don't know how you're going to get better than 90 million. I mean, that was a great deal. I mean, this like sparks flying out
Guess
of
it depends on how many years
Garber's
the million
ass.
goes, you know.
I mean, we already have the sparks flying out of Garber's ass, so I don't think this could be. They're going to make a better deal than this. They'll
One
be
of those firecrackers, just showers.
yes. I mean, you're not going to get any better than that. I mean, if they can get another $90 million deal and it doesn't become 87 or 84, especially based on the ratings they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they've got to fill content, and it's an issue right now between all the gazillion different sports channels are trying to fill content, and this is it's better than nothing. But let's face it, MLS ratings haven't been good and haven't been good anytime soon. I mean, they're going a little better.
They're not great. It's a gradual increase. You know, some peaks, some valleys.
Yeah,
but it's a gradual increase. So I couldn't imagine a better contract unless it's a longer contract.
yeah.
That doesn't necessarily make it better, but
where MLS is getting better is at game attendance when there's no Rona. They're filling the stands. That final between Portland and NYFC was packed. So, that's where things are getting better. And I saw another article like their next step, since we've now beaten NHL, is baseball. Well, it's going to be an uphill battle, folks. Mm-hmm. Although I was a big baseball fan as a kid, and I don't watch baseball anymore. So there you go. And I think a lot of people feel that way about baseball. It's slow.
Baseball is just so unless you're at
boring.
The actual stadium, it is so boring. And I have nothing but respect for the players. Similar to people are like, I can't watch soccer; it's so boring. I'm like, how is it boring? But I know, I understand it. It's just baseball and golf. They get me. Oh,
when I love golf, but I
love playing golf.
I like even on TV. I'm sorry, but because there's some bright and shining players coming up like DeChambeau. They're fun to watch, but and Tiger was fun to watch forever. But as far as baseball, I used to tune in to baseball specifically to watch specific players. And then later on, specific pitchers. I started out with Tommy John, the Yankees in the 80s and in the 90s, Tim Wakefield, and that went on until the early 2000s because he was a knuckleball pitcher, and that fascinated me. Like, a knuckleball. How do you fucking make that work? You just throw a ball with no spin and it does weird shit, and he throws it like 60 miles per hour. How does that work when everybody else is throwing 100 miles per hour? And so there were some fascinating things about baseball
That's got to be the equivalent of a player, shooting the ball in soccer and that thing knuckling like crazy bats.
It is. It
might
really
not be the
is.
hardest shot, but that's still knuckling.
No, that totally carries over to soccer because you get those knuckleballs in soccer as well, where the keeper's like, "What? I thought it was going left, and then it went right, but it's too late. I already dove to the wrong spot." So, all right. And then there were the rumors that McKennie, that Juventus is willing to sell McKennie at a price. But here's the thing about the price. They're looking for at least 40 million. And so
it's increased.
Yeah.
In fairness, part of his injuries had a hell of a great streak of games.
That's the rumor in the Italian press, which you have to translate. And that's kind of the bummer. Like I don't speak Italian, so I've got to like
40 American or 40 European.
40 million. That's all it said. I'm gonna guess that's euros, but they got him for 20 million, so that's double the price, somewhere around there. I think it was 23 with the incentives. So
they're talking about if it was anything less than 28, because I forgot about the incentives. I think they're saying that if they sold them for anything less than 28, they'd be taking a loss.
Yeah, and then his actual market value is 27 million. So they're shooting for 40. And I think a lot of the Italian press said this as well. McKennie's too important. So if they're going to lose him, like they can lose Aaron Ramsey, fuck him.
Yeah.
Art.
When was the last time he was on the pitch?
Arthur, fuck him. They're totally willing.
When was the last time he was on the pitch?
Yeah, they're totally willing to get rid of those players. But if they really want to make money, they're saying if you want McKenzie, it's going to cost you. McKennie, excuse me, it's going to cost you. It's what happens in the third segment.
Speaking of McKenzie, did we talk about McKenzie in the first segment? I don't even know if we talked about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 games in 90 minutes consistently. But regardless, McKennie. Yeah, what this tells me is that if the 40 million is accurate, Juve are holding McKennie at a higher value. They're like, they rate him, but they're saying there's definitely a bid. I mean, if you bid 40 million, we'll offload anybody.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I think
they're like, we want to keep him, but if you're going to go crazy, we'll take it.
Exactly. And I mean, I don't think there's any doubt at this point that when McKennie is healthy, he's a starter. So,
fuck yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a legitimate rumor. I think they're just going to ask for a really high price. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're going to want to make money so they can
just see. We'll see. I mean,
restock. So I don't think that's going to happen because I think eventually Juventus are going to get rid of Ramsey. They're going to get rid of Arter. They're bringing one other player, but they're going to keep McKennie. Sure. Unless they get a ridiculous offer, it's just not going to happen. And then El Nacional. And by the way, that report came from Gazzetta dello Sport. El Nacional said, and this is a Spanish paper, that Dest is worried about his playing time going forward, and that his agents have been in contact with Bayern to discuss his wishes to join Bayern. But Barca is asking for 30 million. So there you go.
Same concept, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, listen, they're part with them if you're willing to pay up, but they're not going to part with them otherwise. And people been saying Xavi doesn't rate him, the owner doesn't rate him, or the guy running the club doesn't rate him. I get it, but I think Dest is panicking too early here, but I don't know.
It's the same type of rumors that are going around about Pulisic right now with the Barcelona loan, and the articles coming out saying that Pulisic, in quotes, he'd be up for a move from
bullshit. Because I've heard.
So
yeah,
I'm saying
opposite.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's one of those things where like people are posting these concerns and like, according to a source nearby, this and this. I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily trust, because I mean that's a lot of being openly public about that type of thing. Unless you're 100% positive, you're making the move. Like it makes sense more with Pulisic than it would be with Dest, because Dest doesn't want to leave. Probably wants to hang out with Barcelona. Whereas Pulisic, I'm sure, wants to hang out with Chelsea, but he also wants to play too. So that it's a bit of a difference. One's actively being pursued, one's actively being sold.
I can't remember what reporter it was in London who said there is no activity from Pulisic's agents about leaving Chelsea.
Yeah.
So this report,
we've talked about it, and even Filippo just recently mentioned or talked about it too on an episode. It's like there's no reason for him to leave. Now, come summer, if things haven't changed, sure, but there's no need at this point.
There was also no need not to play him this weekend.
That was so dumb. Yeah.
That was really stupid.
Thank goodness we rested him during the Champions League. You gave him 13 minutes, so that way he could sit the bench for 90 minutes this weekend.
That's
what
just
the hell.
If you're not going to play the guy at all, I don't know what you're doing. But the thing about Tuchel, he's such a fiddly fucker motherfucker. Like, he just fiddles around, constantly changing the lineup and the people who play or the people who come in and moving guys around all over the place. That's going to bite you in the ass at some point. I mean, you got to find a standard solid 11 then just be rotating.
They're pulling draws and they shouldn't pull draws. They're losing leads on games, and they're letting a lot of goals come in. So I mean, it might be biting them in the ass now.
It's a start. They were first, and everybody thought they're going to
run away with it. Yeah.
And now
they can still finish first, of course, but everybody was predicting that they're just going to run away with it.
I think technically they're third right now. So
they're contending. Yeah,
I might be wrong, but I know they're in the.
I think we're talking about point, like off by points, like few here. I could quickly look at it.
But as good as Man City is, you can't be afford to farting away 2 points.
I agree. Yeah.
So play your best players, Tuchel, you idiot. All right. I should add this before we move to the questions, just because it's curious. So other MLS things that happened. Will Vent, remember Will Vent played at Liverpool, or their academy, and then he went to Atlanta. He was released by the Rapids. They're not going to sign him again. Joseph, you remember Joseph Guy, right? Yeah. His contract was denied by Cincy. They're dumping him. Nelson's being dumped by Dallas, another young player. Remember Kekuto Mane?
No.
Yeah, you do. He was the fast fucker from Columbus and whatever. He got some time, and then he went to Europe. He went to Switzerland. That failed. Wherever he went, he failed. He's continued to fail with Austin. They've declined him. He played for the United States men's national team. Ben
Sweat, for life of me I don't recognize the name.
Mane, short guy, fast. Ben Sweat, his contract denied. Brady Scott. Yep. Brady Scott.
Brady Scott. Yep.
Brady Scott was a youth player in Germany. His contract was no go. Jared Stroud, who's very highly thought of at New York at one point, again cut by Austin. Kai Koronuk, remember him when he was in Holland and played for the reserve teams there, and then he went to LAG. Contract, nope. They just said nope, no option on you. Kleshin's out of contract as well, by the way. Go ahead.
This really just builds onto the topic of you have a lot of people like overhyped players that are going to Europe in comparison to say even just MLS starters, and when it comes to like youth for that matter, but there's a large contingency of U.S. players that go abroad because they have, generally speaking, a pathway to go abroad earlier, and they don't pan out, and then they come back to MLS and they don't pan out. But you have players that either come up through the academies in MLS and then start, with their teams like the Aronson brothers and stuff like that, using them as an example. Anybody insert any name from Dallas, but it's just building up a case for that. Sometimes where people are like, you have to go to Europe. We have to get our young players to Europe. That doesn't necessarily always pan out. And sometimes it's better for them to just continue in MLS or USL and get that time and develop consistently.
Well, the interesting about Kai is, yes, he was born here, but I believed he moved to the Netherlands pretty early.
Yeah, that's a little bit different then.
Yeah. And then he played.
Those stories are always a little bit different.
And then he went to Vitesse 2 team and he killed it. 24 games, 13 goals. Then he went to AZ 2 and he played 33 games, scored only 2. And he's a forward/winger. Goes to LA Galaxy, plays 41 games and scores 14. All right. LA Galaxy 2. Goes to LA Galaxy, the big boys, and over 2 years plays 4 games, scores the goal. I remember the goal that he scored too. It was brilliant. It's just weird. He's 23 and he's homeless. It's just weird. Not homeless on the street, just no club. And then Inter declined Ventura Alvarado's contract, which was not surprising. And then Indiana Vassilev from Inter is going back to.
Okay, that's right. That was a loan, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep, from Aston Villa. But he had a pretty good run.
Yeah.
It's 21 games, 3 goals. Not bad.
I'm kind of surprised, but I wouldn't be shocked if that loan gets extended or re-signed, because I don't see him doing anything at Aston Villa. And,
they might. They might.
I feel like they may offload him again.
Mm-hmm. I think he's 20 now, so I think at this point
it wouldn't hurt him to get loaned back to Miami where he's comfortable, and he had, like I said, we had a decent season.
A lot of it was off the bench, but
he gets loaned back. He gets more playing time, and even if Aston Villa doesn't keep him, that might be better for his career than going back and getting pushed down to like League One or whatever, various things like that.
God, dude, he got no playing there. He didn't play at League One. He didn't play in League Two when he was loaned out. I mean, goddamn, at least he got 21 games. Most of them were off the bench, of course. He played here. They weren't giving him dick's worth of time on the loans, and that could be his fault. We don't know. We weren't there. We don't know what he's not doing right. But at least when he came here and got the loan with Inter, the team's got a lot of problems, but they played him. So, and 3 goals. I didn't expect that.
I didn't. I only watched him really when he played Chicago, and I thought he looked good.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, I guess.
Speaking of Chicago, they cut the goalkeeper's brother, Nick Salonina. His option was declined. He's off the team. So hopefully that doesn't affect the goalkeeper.
I forgot that he was even included. He was ever signed.
Yeah, he's gone, as well as Kenneth Kronholm.
Good. He's been injured for. He was great when he played for us, but he's injured for 3 seasons straight.
I know. At some point you got to give up on a guy. You're like, dude,
good goalkeeper. He was great when he played. It's just, I just said he was injured 3 years injured.
I know. I just bring him up because he played his whole career in Germany. And then we thought when he came here to MLS, and I'm sure Chicago did too, oh man, this is going to be great. And then
he was Johnson's replacement. We sold Johnson off to New York because we expected him really to be going over to Europe, which that didn't really pan out very well. But we sold him off to New York, and we brought in Kromholm, and we're like, oh, cool. He played for a handful of games and did really well, and then all of a sudden injured, and then injured, and then injured, and now he's released. I was like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So it's sad because I tracked him for many years. I guess when he was in Germany.
In fairness, despite his injuries, goalkeeper was never really my concern for Chicago.
No, you guys got a lot of other problems to worry about.
Yeah.
So I think we have
crossed. That changes.
Yeah. Well, good luck on that.
I'm always an optimist, but then I'm always let down. So
Well, that's just like, I'm not going to say it. Anyhow, um, so let's get to your questions. Let's get to your questions. Yeah. Let's get to your questions. Yeah. Let's get to you now.
We're gonna need like an intro video for these type of things now.
I'll have like a dog. No, we'll do a frog.
It should be like the intermission between movies and so like, let's all go to the lobby.
Movies.
Let's all go.
I mean, that's what it is, though. On one of those, they did many of them. There's like a frog with a top hat dancing across the stage with a cane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll try to find that. But
it was also in Spaceballs.
Oh,
they did it as the alien instead,
Okay. My memory is bad, so I remember Spaceballs, but I only remember like very specific scenes. Very specific scenes. All right, let's go. You got the questions, right?
I got questions. You got any questions?
I didn't bring any.
Oh,
I thought you did.
I got some questions pretty quick.
All right.
So JLB74A from YouTube said, because the World Cup takes place in November 2022, the summer of 2022 will be idle. There will be a U.S. men's national team camp. Do you think it'd be a good idea for U.S. men's national team to organize a short Gold Cup-like tournament in the U.S. instead of just playing a couple friendlies next summer? And I'm not going to expand. There's a long question, but that's basically the gist of his question. I'm going to let you answer, and then I'm going to tell the right answer.
It'd be nice. I think that is the answer. Is it would be nice, but I don't know if it's possible.
The answer is wrong. We're not going to have a Gold Cup like tournament during that time period, because during that time period, we will be playing the 2022-2023 Nations League.
Yes, you're right.
The Nation League phase occurs between June 2nd and 14th, as well as September 27th through the 22nd through the 27th.
Oh, so this is what happens when you know the questions and I don't.
All of it is in reverse. I already have the answers. Like, yeah.
You're awesome. So you have the answer. And
on this one, yeah.
I'm the dummy who's like, yeah, I didn't know the
Derek's a buffoon. Well, certainly would be nice, and it would be nice. But
it would be nice.
But he talked about
it'd be nice. All right.
But he had talked about in his question about inviting a total of like 6 CONCACAF teams, and then maybe like a Japan, Korea, Australia type thing, or Qatar. Maybe top 4 African teams. I don't know. But yeah, in theory, that would be great, but it's already booked.
Yeah, next time, save me from looking like an asswipe.
I gotta sound knowledgeable once in a while, Derek. I can't be the drunken idiot.
I know. Usually, I bring the questions, so you can see how poorly I'm doing as the color man. All right, go for it. Question 2.
So, Greg Q from the same YouTube video, he goes, "I can picture Derek living in a van down by the river. Please do not do heroin. Just say no."
Me living down my van, down by the river.
Oh yeah. All right. So he says, question.
Great scene.
Yeah.
Great.
Phenomenal.
Yes. Yep. Chris Farley.
Yep. R.I.P. buddy. R.I.P. So question: who comes up with these wackadoodle designs for our national team kits? Is it USSF? Who are they hiring for this job? Heroin addicts?
No, it's actually an asshole that's in a vat and with like little detectors connected to them. And then the asshole shoots out like it's an intestine and a colon in a vat, just kind of like bundled up in a vat. And they attach electrodes to it, and it shoots information to a computer, and then it poops out.
That reminds me. There's a South Park episode where Cartman partners up with Bart Simpson, and they're going to take down Family Guy. Like they're going to take out the writers of Family Guy, and it turns out it's a manatee literally picking a ball out of the water and throwing it at somebody.
There you go.
well, we're gonna take gay people and insert other thing here and put them together. That's gonna be our next episode. All right, let's go, guys. It's just like, but same concept, except for yours was a little not safe for work, I guess.
Mine wasn't.
You're talking about intestines and that type of thing, right?
Colons acceptable.
Sphincter?
Intestines are acceptable. Rolling them up into a vat filled with goo, capping it, attaching electrodes to the ass parts. I think that's all acceptable.
I think they literally take turns shitting on a canvas, and then whichever one they think looks the best is going to be the new kit design.
Dude, it's U.S. Soccer.
It's U.S. Soccer, and it's Nike all wanting to make money. That's all it is.
I mean, look at it. For a long time, it was the same people, marketing people, right? Who were working with a team of people designing. And those people are going to be gone soon. They're not going to be doing U.S. Soccer and MLS. But look at MLS uniforms. Listen. Yeah. I mean, and then you've got the big companies involved, and the big companies are run by big corporate guys.
Whether it's Nike or Adidas, they've got an X amount of templates, and then everybody's just some form of variation off each other.
And they hire their own kids and shit like that to become part of the marketing team. And then those kids, those spoiled little fucking brats, run the marketing team. And they make the big decisions on what's cool and what isn't cool when no one's ever thought they've been cool their whole lives. And they've been douches driving Mercedes around since they were fucking 17 years old. So fuck those people. It's an insider job.
We've talked about it, how we would like it if they would take like one kit and you can make slight variations to the kit, but let's create some form of an identity in the end. Because the concept of us going from stars and stripes denim to a plain white kit to a sash to a charcoal gray to this, that, and this, and then the current stuff we have. It's so off the wall. When you look at the history of our jerseys, they're insanely different, and it's all money ploy. Every 2 years, a new jersey comes out, and their aim is to sell to as many people as possible.
Look at the MLS logo. Look at the fucking MLS fucking Next Pro logo. look at anything you want to look at, but all I gotta say is the best uniforms I've ever seen, the best kits I have ever seen online are done by some jackoffs that are designing shit in their basement and on some design program that I'm not aware of, and making some of the best stuff. They're not jackoffs, but guess what? They're jackoffs because the guys that think they're fucking elite motherfuckers don't want to hire jackoffs to actually do real design, real creative work. Like, that's gone. That's totally gone. You look at the MLS logo and that you can tell that's gone. It's been eliminated. So, that's all I got to say on that. We have another third question.
Last question. This is from Vanley 44. Comments a lot on our videos. I do have one question. Who is the kid holding the red card in your logo?
Oh, that's probably on me. So yeah, I found the photo back in like 2007 when we were just talking about the show.
Eight is when we met up on the online boards,
and we named the show. And then I'm like, well, I gotta find, and I found the picture of the boy with the red card. Don't know who he is, and we couldn't use that after a while. All of us figured that we could get in trouble for
somebody
that.
might come a knocking.
Yeah. So then Simon Allen took the photo and created the artwork based off of the photo, but he changed a lot of it. So, we were copyright free at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where the original came from. I just found it online. It's like the dog that was D-Rec for 5 years. I don't know.
That wasn't a picture of Gizmo?
No, Gizmo wasn't even born yet. So, He's 14 now, so maybe he could have been, but he was a puppy in like those years, so he wouldn't have worked. And I, keep him stand still for 5 seconds, take a photo would have been impossible. But yeah, so I don't know who the dog is, the original owner of the dog, and I don't know who the original kid
or the owner of the kid
flashing the red card is, but or the owner of the kid. Well, let's not hope he's owned. That's not
my response was shruggy emotion.
I saw that late today, and I'm like, oh, that's a good response, because we don't know. We really don't know. Good question, though.
Yeah.
I think we're about done for tonight, right?
That'd be it.
Okay. All right. So make sure you like, subscribe, share it. I don't care with who. And hit the bell if you haven't hit the bell yet. If you've already hit the bell, don't worry about it. I know a lot of people are complaining they've had to re-hit the bell. So if you already hit the bell, but then the bell unbelled itself, re-hit the bell.
Yeah, don't be a bell end. Click that bell.
Okay. All right. Until the next time on Straight Red Card, we will be back. Well, shit. It's not gonna. You're not going to notice that we haven't not been back. We recorded all this in one day, and it's going to come out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we'll do a show on Thursday.
I guess it could come out Monday. Never mind.
Yeah, Monday. It's still there's Monday a shot. There's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. Exactly. All right, folks. Sleep well.